Hello everyone, this is Group 3 and we are presenting our case study on H2O Just Add Water, the hit early 2000s Australian TV show. H2O Just Add Water is an Australian TV show that was filmed in Queensland and other places across the Gold Coast and SeaWorld locations from 2006 to 2010. It is a children's fantasy show about mermaids and a teen drama about girls in high school, targeted at young girls. The setting is Mako Island, and it first aired on Network 10 in Australia. For context, there were 3 seasons of the original series, several movies created, and 2 spin-off shows created based off of the show. It was created by Jonathan M. Schiff. The show first aired on Australia's Network 10 in 2006. The show later expanded to Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, ZDF, and a short run on Cartoon Network Video in 2010. The show currently runs in over 120 countries with more than 250 million viewers. The series is available for streaming on Netflix, but can also be found on Amazon Prime Video and YouTube TV in the United States. The 2 notable spin-off shows are Mako Island of Secrets and H2O Mermaid Adventures. Due to the popularity of the original series, spin-offs were produced. Mako Island of Secrets is the sequel to H2O, which debuted in 2013 on Netflix in the US, Canada, the UK, and Ireland. It was also released on Network 10 in Australia. The show had 2 seasons, with season 2 premiering in 2015. Also in 2015, H2O Mermaid Adventures is the animated reboot of the original. It follows the same storyline, but in the animated series, the mermaids can talk to underwater sea creatures. H2O Just Add Water received many nominations and awards for the show. Nominations include the 2007 Logie Award for Most Outstanding Children's Program, the 2007 Nickelodeon UK Kids' Choice Award for Best TV Show, and the 2008 Logie Award for Most Outstanding Children's Program. Awards that they received include the 2008 Nickelodeon Australian Kids' Choice Award for Best TV Drama Show and the 2009 Logie Award for Most Outstanding Children's Program.
Now we are going to move on to main characters, themes, and elements. Firstly, I'd like to familiarize those who are not familiar with H2O's general storyline. The general story is as follows. One night, 3 ordinary teenage girls discover a moon pool that will change their lives forever. The pool, situated on the edge of the mysterious Mako Island, has the ability to transform humans into mermaids on the night of a full moon. The caveat: Cleo, Ricky, and Emma grow tails at the touch of water. After their transformation, the girls and their best friend Lewis navigate teenage life while being sworn to secrecy regarding their transformation and new magic powers. Now moving on to our characters. Up first is Cleo Satori, who is one of the main 3 mermaid girls. Cleo is reserved and shy, but also bright and loyal. During the course of the series, she harnesses her power of being able to manipulate water, and she also develops a romantic relationship with her longtime friend Lewis. Overall, Cleo is an easily likable and relatable character, and she is as awkward as she is sweet. Ricky Chadwick is the second major character. She lives with her dad in a trailer park, which becomes a point of contention for her character development. And within the first season as well, she also harnesses her power of being able to boil water. She also experiences an enemies to lover relationship with Zane. And out of the 3 main characters, Ricky exhibits the most carefree and wild traits, and she constantly pushes the girls to take risks and go outside of their comfort zone. Emma Gilbert is the third main character in both season 1 and 2 before her departure in season 3. Like Cleo and Ricky, she also has a power. In this case, hers is freezing water. Emma also engages in some PG-rated romance as she begins a relationship with a boy named Ash. Between the 3 main characters, Emma is the most rigid. She values rules and is the responsible member of the group, and her character also works to keep the trio grounded. Up next is Bella Hartley. She replaces Emma in the 3rd season of the series. Cleo, Ricky, and Bella quickly bond upon discovering their joint secret. She too experiments with love and begins dating a boy named Will. Like Cleo and Ricky, Bella also possesses a unique power. In her case, she is capable of changing water to gelatin and a crystal substance. And also, for the first time in the series, music is introduced through Bella, who is a singer. Part of H2O's success can be attributed to the main characters. The girls are good friends with a shared experience, but all come from different backgrounds and have different characteristics. These small details make the show so likable. Moving on to the secondary main characters, we have the iconic Lewis McCartney. Throughout the series, Lewis is both a loyal and consistent friend to the mermaids. He also engages in two relationships during the series, one with Cleo and another with Charlotte, who becomes the main antagonist. Zane Bennett is also an important character because he drives a lot of the series' plot points. He begins as an arrogant boy who flaunts his richness and often taunts the girls, but he does go through large character development throughout the series. Zane and Ricky do become a couple, but eventually opt for being friends instead. Lastly, it is important to discuss Charlotte Watsford, the main antagonist and new girl in town. Charlotte becomes very fond of Lewis and plots to form a relationship with him while he is still dating Cleo. Charlotte also becomes a mermaid in the moon pool by herself, therefore granting her all three powers. She threatens to take the other girls' powers due to her jealousy toward Cleo. However, the girls counter her efforts and she loses her powers and Lewis's admiration forever. H2O's success is partly because of its major themes. The show demonstrates friendship and loyalty through its developed characters and their interactions. Furthermore, every episode is reliant on some element of teamwork to solve the problem of the day. The characters also display immense amounts of courage and bravery, especially during their beginning transition into mermaids. Belonging and identity is also a theme that arises frequently. The girls realize that they are different from their classmates and support one another within the daily throes of teenage life. Anger and grief are also themes that arise. At times, characters are either angry with one another or they are experiencing a moment of grief, and they are forced to support one another through these situations. Essentially, H2O displays normal struggles for children and teens in a very entertaining manner. There are a few elements that create a successful show, and H2O caters to this model. Firstly, the plot is interesting and keeps the audience engaged. Every episode, the group of friends either has to embark on a new adventure or solve some type of problem. Secondly, the storyline is relatable for both children and teens, as the girls and their friends experience normal problems in addition to their mermaid troubles. The series also hints at mature content in a PG way. The characters engage in crushes and relationships, which is exciting for their target audience of preteen girls who developmentally are beginning to become interested in these topics. Finally, life lessons are presented in an entertaining and digestible manner. One example of this is when Cleo, Ricky, and Emma worked as a team to stop a group of illegal fishermen from catching sea turtles.
H2O Just Add Water was a truly successful show around the world, being shown in over 120 countries with an audience of over 250 million people. The show took off in 2006 and has since educated children on cultures in the region of Australia. The first implication that can be drawn from the show is the importance of friendship and loyalty in Australian culture. Australians value camaraderie and friendship, opposed to hierarchies and relationships. They rely on loyalty and trust, which can be seen through the friendships made by main characters Cleo, Ricky, and Emma. They also form bonds with various other characters as well. The term mates is also heavily used in Australia to express friendliness and is now used globally, opening children up to the phrases and languages used in Australia. Children can learn the strong value in lasting friendships and making genuine connections with others by watching H2O Just Add Water. Another implication of H2O Just Add Water is the exposure children have to a completely different country and its customs. While I already touched upon the language of Australians, there are a multitude of other customs children can see. They can become educated on significant locations in Australia, such as Matu Island, which is called Mako Island in the show. They can also become familiarized with Burleigh Beach, which is filmed on the Gold Coast of Australia. This region is known for its sharks and rocky terrain, which are mentioned in the show. Another Australian custom is the easygoing, relaxing lifestyle they lead. While the girls encounter a multitude of everyday problems, the show's setting and beachy vibes showcase this Australian custom very well. This helps children understand the cultural identities of other countries and how citizens of Australia feel a sense of belonging within their region. In addition to the implications that H2O Just Add Water shows, the TV show itself has parallels to US media. Two of those parallels are to two mermaid TV shows called Aquamarine and The Little Mermaid.
These US parallels showcase similar mature PG content that touches on love and crushes. In these mermaid movies, the mermaids find someone who embraces them for who they are. This is similar to Cleo, Ricky, and Emma's lives, where they encounter people who don't know their big secret, which is that they are all mermaids. This teaches children a valuable lesson. Find someone who accepts you for who you are.
From research that I've done from watching the show and personal experience of watching it when I was growing up, I noticed a lot of connections that we learn about in class, it being connected to H2O and what it teaches to the audience. So, the first connection that I made is that it is a form of edutainment. Edutainment is a concept that came from the 1970s, which involves a mixture of entertainment and education. So normally when you think of edutainment, you think of the basic math skills or grammar skills or vocabulary, but in this case of H2O, you learn more about social skills, friendship skills, and conflict skills. Um, there's a lot of conflicts with uh, parents and children, secrecy, friendship, loyalty. So, in the sake of edutainment, I think you learn more emotional intelligence rather than the basic math skills or grammar skills or vocabulary skills. Furthermore, a connection to the course that we read about is the law of apparent reality. The law of apparent reality are when emotions are elicited by events that individuals regard as real, and the intensity of their emotions correspond to the degree to which they experience the events as real. So, for example, when there are conflicts of a human being changing into a mermaid and having to hide that from society, the secrecy behind that keeps children who are the viewers on the edge of their seats, and their blood pressure spikes up and adrenaline starts running when in the show there is some hidden factor of hiding a secret from the world. And the only people who know the secrets are the very small, close friend group. Another aspect would be relationship issues. So, when something is going wrong in a relationship, I feel as people and as human beings, we feel empathetic and sympathetic to the situation. So we elicit some sort of emotion based on what we're viewing. And that also goes off with grief, fighting, and jealousy that happens within the show as well. The last connection to the course that I'll be talking about is the excitation transfer theory, which is a bit similar to the theory in the last slide, but it focuses more on the pleasure that people receive from watching fear. So, excitation transfer theory was developed to explain why people enjoy viewing frightening media content. The theory assumes that every emotion, fear, anger, or pleasure brings about the same state of physical arousal. So, over the course of the show, in every single episode, the girls who are half human, half mermaid cannot be around any sort of water. If water touches their skin, either if it's an accident or if it's a spill or in any shape or form, they will automatically turn into a mermaid and they have to run to a body of water. And every single episode has a major focus on not trying to get water on their bodies. And they have to be very aware of their surroundings and what they're doing, what they're around. Um, so, this creates a sort of ongoing feeling of a fear that something bad could happen in any moment. And I think this captivates the viewers even more because, according to this excitation transfer theory, we get pleasure from frightening media content. And for children, being caught as something that is not human um, is a frightening experience. Lastly, we have a couple questions that we thought we should ask everyone who's watching this. So, the first question is, why do you think mermaids are popular in children's media? The second one is, did you ever play mermaids in the pool or ocean as a kid? Number 3 is one of the series' biggest critiques from parents involved the inclusion of romantic crushes, relationships, and PDA. What is your opinion on displaying affection in children's media? And lastly, number 4, do you think the main characters' roles as mermaids encourage children to live in a more fantasy-based world, or does it have a more positive connotation where children are taught to embrace their differences?